Watch how we turn this kitchen floor into a galaxy. First, the crew pours out a custom mix loaded with pigments and gold sparkle. They let the colors flow and blend until the whole floor looks like deep space. Next, they pull a clear self-leveling epoxy over the design. Flames from butane torches pop bubbles and let the resin...
We transform this plain patio into a wood grain showpiece. First, we flood it with our caramel and jet black pigment, pulling those colors into smooth waves with trowels and squeegees. Once the design is set, a clear coat of self-leveling epoxy goes down. It's about 60% see-through right now, but just wait. A quick pass with the torch gun pops...
Building a leaf-embedded epoxy floor in this bathroom. First step is laying down pressed autumn leaves over the primed concrete. We make sure they're flat and arranged exactly how we want the final design to look. With the pattern set, we mix a clear 2-part resin and pour it out like syrup. Using trowels and squeegees, the team spreads it to every thing.
We cover the entire slab with dried maple leaves and a couple of birch branches. Reds, yellows, a few earth tones makes it feel like the forest floor. Once the layout's locked in, we start pouring the clear epoxy. It's self-leveling, so we just guide it with a squeegee into every corner. Torches come next, a quick pass.
We start by setting thousands of optical fibers straight up, tight together, across the entire floor. This is what gives the piece its light-catching texture. Next, a blue-tinted crystal clear epoxy goes down. We let it flow to every single corner, covering each strand evenly. Once it firms up, we polish with a marble grinder until the floor...
We're turning this penthouse into a little galaxy. First, the crew lays down large, iridescent crystal chunks edge to edge so there are 0 gaps. Once the pattern's locked in, we mix a high-viscosity sky blue resin and let it flow across the entire floor, working it into every corner. With the surface covered, propane...
Building a full 3D ocean shore right inside this kitchen. First, the team lays down colored resin, tan for the sand, turquoise and deep blue for the water, and feathers and white for the foamy edge. Seashells go on the beach to add texture. Next comes a sky blue transparent coat of high-viscosity epoxy. It gets pushed across every corner so the artwork is sealed under glass.
Watch how this hallway floor comes alive. The team lays down the pigment first. Violet, teal, magenta, and a touch of black, pushing the colors together until there are no gaps, just a seamless flow like a painting. Next, a high viscosity, sky blue clear coat goes over the entire surface, leveled into every corner with white.
Alright, today we're building a custom epoxy floor that looks like a bed of glowing ocean stones. Watch how we lay them in tight with no gaps. Now the high viscosity sky blue epoxy goes down. It's thicker than water, so we guide it with trowels and squeegees to every corner. Torches pop the bubbles and level the surface. Once it sets a bit, we hit it with the marble.
Turning this bare concrete bedroom into a lava-inspired showpiece. First, the crew lays down charred stones, packing them tight so the layout doesn't shift. Next, we pour a molten orange resin into the channels. This will be the glowing lava you'll see through the floor. Now comes the clear coat, a high viscosity epoxy that stays where we put it and flows enough to level out across the entire... Turning this bare concrete bedroom into a lava-inspired showpiece. First, the crew lays down charred stones, packing them tight so the layout doesn't shift. Next, we pour a molten orange resin into the channels. This will be the glowing lava you'll see through the floor. Now comes the clear coat, a high viscosity epoxy that stays where we put it and flows enough to level out across the entire...
This bare concrete slab is about to turn into a glassy piece of art. We start by laying hundreds of sanded wood slices edge to edge. Every ring lines up tight so nothing shifts once the resin hits. Next, thick crystal clear epoxy is poured. It's thicker than water, so it flows slowly and coats each piece evenly. We guide it to every corner, making